Hi students, and welcome to today's live Ielts class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you live from beautiful Budapest here in Central Europe. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. Hi Tunde, hi Jaspreet, hi Flower Sun, hi Lakshmi. Good to see students ready to go and learn. In this class we are looking at Ielts listening, specifically focusing on practice and strategy for the difficult, challenging part 3 and 4 of the exam. While we wait for some more of your peers, this lesson is presented to you by aehelp.com for academic IELTS. Check us out there. We'll use that website in just a moment. And gieltshelp.com for the general version of the test. Make sure to look for us there and join our premium packages for over 100 hours of HD video lessons with me and other teachers for all sections of the exam. If you have questions, just send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com, and I will gladly answer. You can also get our exam books in electronic or carbon copy versions from Amazon. You can search for our practice exams on Amazon by typing AE Helps Academic IELTS and G Helps General IELTS. Thanks, Lakshmi, for all the love from Nepal. Hi, Shruti. Hi, Gunkairen. Nice to see many of our members in the class. Hi, Rajamanikam as well. Good to have you. Okay, students. So again, today, listening. Tomorrow, we'll have a question and answer session for members. So members, try to join early and get your questions ready for tomorrow's class. And then we'll have speaking part 3 for everybody. Again, just a reminder, January 31st to February 5th, no live classes, but I will be releasing a couple of exciting new videos for you in HD, so check for those during that time. And I will also be posting some essays and sample speaking responses during that time as well, so make sure you check for that. And of course, I'll be back on February 6th. All right, everyone, let's hop over to our speaking for today. So we are looking at section 3. This is from our first exam book, so it's CD1, and it's track number 3 for those of you who have our premium package and our books. If you don't, it's okay, because I will have it for you today. We are going over to the website here, and I'm just gonna, this is our academic IELTS website at aehelp.com, and we log in to our student account at the top. Of course, you can use this on your phone and your tablet as well if you are going mobile. And then here are loads of materials, computer-based exams, lesson videos, and we're going for this tab here, which is the Ielts Audio Cds. Now, students, I know it's bright. That'll change in a minute. When I play the audio, please write your answers on a separate piece of paper or type it into a separate text. Don't put it into the chat. Be fair to your peers. Don't confuse your classmates. So we'll go through the answers after together. But for now, just put it into a separate document. And students, my volume is maxed out. I'll double check. Yeah, it's definitely maxed. So if it's quiet for you, turn up the volume on your side. And if you have a headset, I definitely recommend using it, because for the audio here, I'm using my mic, which is a good mic and a good speaker, but it's still a mic and a speaker. All right, so everybody get ready. We're going to warm up your listening performance here. I'm just going to play part 3 of the listening. Focus, visualize, use your paraphrasing, all of those skills that we talked about in the past. All right, here we go.
Now turn to section 3. Take some time to look at questions 21 to 26. Listening section 3. You will hear 3 students organising a class project. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 26.
I just got an email from the professor saying the due date for our European History group project has been pushed back to Monday.
Great! That means we'll have the weekend to work on it.
I suppose that's good news, but I don't really want to do any homework on my weekend. I had planned to go away with my girlfriend for some relaxation this weekend.
I suppose that's understandable. Maybe we should just have it done by Friday, the original due date. That gives us today and Thursday to finish it.
We can do that, I think. I'm available tomorrow. How about we spend today planning it, assign tasks to take home with us and do tonight, and then meet tomorrow and put it all together? Does that sound right?
That works for me.
That doesn't work too well for me. My afternoon is very busy. I guess I'll just have to burn the midnight oil tonight.
What has you so tied up, Evan?
I have a basketball game after school today, and then my favourite football team plays this evening at 7. It's okay though. I'll get the work done. Let's get started on the planning.
All right. So we have to come up with a 3-panel poster about a topic in European history. I already bought the material for the poster, so we don't have to worry about that.
How much was it?
It was £3.
Okay, we'll each give you £1 for the poster board.
No, don't worry about it. My dad paid for it anyway.
Sounds good to me.
Right then, since there's 3 of us, my idea was that 2 of us could take care of the writing part of the project, while 1 of us could look after the artwork, making the poster look smart.
I'll do the artwork. I think I'm a pretty good artist.
I'll be happy to do half the writing. What topics are we going to choose?
Well, the professor said the topic has to be an event that took place somewhere between 1400 and 1800, so we can't do either of the world wars.
That's too bad. My dad is an expert on the Second World War, and he could have helped me with my part. What are we going to do instead?
You now have some time to look at questions 27 to 30. Now listen to the rest of the discussion and answer questions 27 to 30.
I was reading my textbook the other day and I read some really interesting information on the French Revolution.
That's a really good idea.
I know. How about instead of doing a summary of the French Revolution, we write about some of the people involved instead?
Oh, I like that idea. So who are some of the important people?
Well, there's the King, Louis XVI.
Robespierre was important, I think.
Yes, he was. And of course, Napoleon Bonaparte.
We should have 4 people, so you can each write about 2 people.
How about Marie Antoinette?
Okay, so we have 4 historical figures. Each of you are going to write about 2. Now we have to decide how much we're going to write. Remember, we have to fill up a 3-board poster.
That's a good point about the 3-board poster. Maybe we should do a 5th person, then we can have 2 figures on each side with 1 in the middle.
Good idea. We can make the middle one really important. We'll make that one Napoleon. As for a 5th person, how about Voltaire?
Good. So how about I do the important one on Napoleon and a smaller one on Robespierre?
Okay, and I'll do the other 3.
How long should each topic be?
I'd say 200 words each for the small ones and 450 for the big one on Napoleon.
I think that sounds about right. What do you think about meeting up later on?
That is the end of section 3. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
Okay, students, and use that half minute to check your answers. Just going to stop us there. And we'll go through the answers together. So 3 people in this conversation. The Ielts often will have these 3-person conversations. So you do have to be confident with listening to female, male voices and different accents from around the UK. Okay, let's do this together. So write no more than 1 word for each answer. So this is just a 1-word question answer here. 21, what day of the week does the discussion take place? So when are these students talking to each other? And you can figure this out from what they say. Okay, so Samsidin Hakimov says Friday. Latifa says Wednesday. Police crime, this is natural speed of English, and this is how fast they will speak in the audio. Friday, Wednesday, Friday, Wednesday. All right, I think a few students got a little bit confused with what was going on, and some of you figured it out perfectly. The answer is Wednesday. Easiest way to do it is like that. Remember, it's a capital. If you want to be safe, you can write it like that as well. Okay, that's also correct. So, the project doesn't tell you that, but the project is due on Friday. So, if we look at the transcripts, okay, if you get questions like this wrong, always check why you're getting them wrong. That's very important, students. Okay, so just a quick note. Okay, this is a very important tip. When you get questions wrong in the listening, always check to see why you got it wrong. Reference the transcripts at the back of the book. So what was it that you didn't understand or misunderstood? Okay. In our case, you can find the transcripts on page 160. And we'll take a look at this. So why some of you said Friday. So here, notice what they say. I just got an email from the professor saying the due date for our European history group project has been pushed back to Monday. So the due date is Monday. And then Anna says, great, that means we'll have the weekend to work on it. Okay. And then Evan, the third individual, says, I suppose that's good news, but I don't really want to be doing homework on my weekend. Okay. So then Megan says, I suppose that's understandable. Maybe we should just have it done by Friday, the original due date. So they want to finish by Friday. That gives us today and Thursday to finish it. From this sentence, today and Thursday to finish it, means that we realize today has to be Wednesday. So they're going to finish it for Friday, and they're going to work on it today and tomorrow. So today must be Wednesday. Okay. Again, the Ielts exam, especially when you get to part 3, part 4, it's more challenging. You have to understand and be able to infer the answers. Okay. All right. So these are the transcripts. You can always check the transcripts to see what happened. Okay. All right. It's challenging, but some of these questions, they're looking for those Band 8, Band 9 students. Okay? All right. So let's go back to the questions, and then we'll go through them step by step nicely and smoothly to make sure they're all clear. Here we go. Let's go into the chart. So here you had to complete the chart with some words. Again, it's one word for each, so pay attention to that. So the group's task, when the task is completed, that's today, so on Wednesday. 22, what are they doing today? And we can actually understand this from their discussion. Okay, they say it, but also we can even infer it. Okay, it's planning. That's right, Roshni, good job. Shamsidin, very good. Yeah, they're planning. Okay. That's exactly what's happening, right? They're talking about the 3-board poster and what they're going to do. They're planning the project. They're doing the project tonight, so they're all going home, and then they're doing the research and the writing, and then putting the project together when? When are they putting the project together? It makes sense. So planning today, doing the project tonight. And for number 23, one word. Yeah, plan the project is okay. They'll take plan. Okay, plan is okay. So somebody's asking, can I write plan? Plan the project today? Yes, it makes sense. It's grammatically correct, so yeah. Okay, for 23, tomorrow. That's right. So careful with the spelling, 2 R's, of course. Tomorrow. Okay, double R. No double R, no point. Okay, so tomorrow. Very good. All right, let's keep going. This is multiple choice. For multiple choice, you should always listen for the answer, hear the answer, and then choose the correct answer. It's very difficult to get the multiple choice correct just trying to look for the answer here. Okay, so who paid for the cost of the poster board? One of the women, one of the women's father, the man's father. A, B, or C? B, yeah. Maybe some of you remember, she said, oh, my dad paid for it anyway. What are dads for, right? So my dad paid for it anyway, is what the woman says. That's how we know the answer is B. Students, when you're writing your answers into the answer sheet, notice how they have capital letters here. I definitely recommend using capital letters, okay? I keep reminding you of that. I highly recommend it. It's just clear for the reader, for the examiner, okay? So B is correct. All right, then questions 25 and 26. Write no more than 3 words and or a number for each answer. Number 25, you needed 2 numbers. The topic must be an event that occurred sometime between the years something and something. Okay? Anybody remember? Shamsidin says 1400, 1800. Yeah, 1400 and 1800. So the correct answer is 1400, 1800. You don't need the word and because it's given. Okay? They can even mark it wrong if you write and because you don't need 2 ands. So just 14 and 1800. Remember, students, that 19th century equals 1800. Okay? So it's the 1800s is the 19th century. Okay? All right. The 1900s or the 20th century? Right now, we are in the 21st century. Okay? All right. Number 26. What topic would the male student like to write on but cannot due to the assignment restrictions? Yes, you should use the capital letters, Raja Manikam, in computer-based test as well, but in the computer-based test for multiple choice, you just click the right choice, right? It is the Second World War, Fad, but it's capital, okay? So it's the name of the war. So this is probably one of the most difficult ways to write this, but the S, the W, and the other W have to all be uppercase letters. If you write them with small letters, you will get it wrong, okay? So if you write a small S, a small W, and a small W, even just one, okay? Even if you write it like this is wrong. Second World War, small w, it's still wrong, okay? They all have to be capital. The easier way to do this is like this. Okay, big W 2. That's World War II, okay? That's the easiest way to write this, all right? Okay, so careful. Don't lose easy marks. Students, when you catch something important, like the name, like Fudd, you did, you're very welcome, and you go, oh, it's Second World War, I got that. You got a point. Don't lose it for a simple mistake, like writing small s or small w. Remember, names of specific events places, objects, people, it's always capital. They're called proper nouns if it's the name of one unique, specific event, place, person. It has to be capital. Okay? All right. So here you had to visualize. This was a very visual question. Where do the students decide to put each historical figure? So they're creating a poster board that looks like this. Okay. And they're putting some people on the sides and in the center. Oh, they're all happy people. They probably weren't all happy people at that time, but they're putting some people on the sides of the board and in the center, and you have to figure out who those people were from what they're saying and who's not included. So A, if they're on the side, so this would be A, this would be A. B, if the person's in the middle, and C, if the person is just hanging out somewhere else and not included. Okay? ISA, World War II like that is okay. Yeah, you can write World War II with the number 2. It's fine. It's okay. Okay, ISA, that's a correct answer. All right, students, so let's get to this question here. 27, Robespierre. Is Robespierre in the middle or on the sides of the poster? A or B or not on the poster? C. Okay, so what do you think? 27. A, B, C. Yeah, they talk about Robespierre. I think the woman will be writing about Robespierre. He's a smaller character. He goes on the side of the poster. Correct letter is A. Very good. 28, Rousseau. Rousseau, is Rousseau going to be on the side, in the middle, or not on the poster? Number 28. Rousseau. Rousseau's not on the poster as far as I know. I didn't hear Rousseau being mentioned to be on the poster. King Louis the 16th. He sounds kind of important. Number 29, the king. At the time, I do believe he lost his head. At that time, where does the king go? '29. The king goes on the side of the poster. Okay? Who was the most important person of all in the French Revolution? Arguably, Napoleon Bonaparte, right? Napoleon Bonaparte is the only person who goes into the center of the poster. He's got the long piece, so last one's B. Okay? Napoleon was the main character responsible for overthrowing monarchy in France. So A, C, A, B. Okay, A, C, A, B. All right, students. Add up your scores. What did you get out of 10? How many did you get correct for the raw score in section 3? What did you get? Taylor Reese says he was the biggest and the shortest. Funny, Taylor. Good humor. I like it. Okay. If you got at least let's say 7, it's great. Okay, 7 or more, fantastic. If you got less than 7, then you have to practice. Okay. Yes. Oyin Damola, you definitely want to bring up that 3. Flower Sun, Lakshmi, you need to increase those numbers. Okay? So section 3, section 4, you're looking for a minimum 6-7 score if you want to get into the band 6.5 or more, 7 range or more, okay? Yeah, Lynn, that's very good. Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, make sure to do multiple exams so that you can see your average, okay? But just another tip here, students. So your aim for part 1 should be 8 or more. For part 2, 7 or more. For part 3, should be 6 or more. For part 4, and now these are just averages, of course, should be 5 or more. Okay, in order to get band scores 6.5 and higher. That's what you're aiming for, all right? That's the idea. Okay, without further ado, let's keep pushing. So don't get down on yourself if you're not reaching those marks yet. Just keep practicing, keep listening. Do a lot of watching films, British TV, listen to British podcasts, radio. Listen to topics that interest you. So it excites your mind and you hold the information that you hear, okay? All right, let's do section 4. Again, students, I'm going to play the audio for part 4, and don't write the answers into the chat. Okay, you will be able to share it after. Shruti, just write me an email with that question and I'll help you out, okay? It's a little bit off topic and long answer, so just write me an email, okay? So students, don't write your answers in the chat on a separate piece of paper. We'll do it together after. If it's quiet for you, please use a headset. Turn up the volume on your side, okay? Here we go. Back to our questions. And then back to our website. Now, section 4, part 4, a little bit more challenging. There's no break to review questions. It's all one flow, okay? So, here we go with section 4 out of the website.
Now turn to section 4. Take some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Listening section 4. You will hear a professor discussing climate change. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Hello class, hope you all had a good weekend. Today we will be talking about climate change. Life on Earth is going to have some adapting to do if climate scientists are correct with regard to their predictions of the Earth's rising atmospheric temperature. Humans and animals alike may have to change both their habits and habitats. The average temperature on the Earth's surface has risen by an estimated 1 degree centigrade in the last 100 years, and this trend is continuing at an ever-increasing speed. Until now, it seems that business and the environment have met as adversaries. But with the growing profitability of green products, perhaps business can play a positive role in the fight to save the environment. There is an ever-growing consensus that the cause of climate change can be linked to human action. To be more specific, environmental change is caused by the emission of greenhouse gases. Carbon dioxide is chief among these. So what's so bad about things getting a little warmer, you may wonder? Weather patterns could become more extreme. The polar ice caps could melt. Sea levels could rise, and incidences of famine due to drought could also increase. On the other hand, places such as northern Canada will likely become more productive for farming and mineral and crude oil extraction. What isn't positive about the permafrost melting is that the ice is a carbon sink, and when it melts, it releases even more carbon into the atmosphere. It's clear that humans will have to change their relationship with the Earth and its resources, but the debate remains over who should be leading that change. Advocates of personal responsibility claim that small personal measures, such as changing light bulbs or riding a bike, can make a significant difference. On the other hand, governments from developing countries are calling for economic reparations to be paid by developed nations because, after all, it is the rich who cause most of the environmental damage and made money from it. The other major group that has profited from our increasing environmental degradation are corporations. Business has always been about production and consumption. The invisible hand of supply and demand has long run our economic system, and now there is an ever-growing demand for conservation. The question is, when will consumer demand be commensurate with green technological advances that allow for environmentally friendly products to actually be more profitable than those that pollute? One option to speed up this process is to have governments impose true cost taxes on every product that is sold. This would force prices to include an economic pressure to purchase or use products that will not cause further environmental degradation or carbon emissions. There is little doubt that climate change is going to cause a drastic difference to our environment and way of life. The questions that remain to be asked revolve around how to solve the climate crisis and who will pay for the restructuring of our patterns of consumption that have led to these problems. With the ever-growing desire for green consumer goods, perhaps businesses can answer some of these questions by producing environmentally sound products. Even if business has a role to play in saving the environment, it is clear that we all need to do our part.
That is the end of section 4. You will now have half a minute to check your answers.
All right, students, and if you are going to the UK for some study, that would be a typical type of lecture you could hear in one of your geography or science classes from your professor talking about climate change. That would be their speed, their enunciation. It's very, very much real world. And now, I'm just going to hop back here, stop the audio. We'll go through the answers together. Okay? Lots of paraphrasing. There were some key words that helped you identify where you are in the audio. Let's do this together. So background information is the first part of the summary of this lecture. Humanity as well as other species may have to drastically alter their something and something. And I can see a lot of people have written habits and habitats. That is correct. So the two words here are habits, okay, so they're behaviors, and habitats. Okay, so where we live, our behavior and where we live, habits and habitats. Now you don't need the word and, you just need a comma, and you have to get both of these correct to get 31 correct. If you only get one of the two, unfortunately they will not give you that, okay? Habits, plural. Habitats, plural. And when you learn good English grammar, you know that the plurals will have parallel grammar. So if this is plural, this has to be plural. Is that clear? Okay. So habits and habitats. Okay. Now, remember the instructions? No more than 2 words. Okay. So if you write habits and habitats, they'll mark it wrong because you're writing 3 words. You didn't pay attention to the instructions. Make sure you pay attention to the instructions, okay? All right. Number 32. So we're listening, and there were some keywords here. Business environment. This is paraphrased. They say adversary. Okay, adversary is meaning to be in conflict or against. And yes, the correct answer here, some of you got it, were green products. Okay, green products. Green products may change this. Again, it was plural. If you're not getting the plurals, you're getting them wrong. Okay, so it has to be green products. All right, there's no a or the here, so we know it's plural. okay, or un. All right. Watch the word that comes before the space, which will give you a hint about the word form and whether it's a plural or not a plural. Okay, so green products. I hope that was clear for you. All right, going on to question 33. There we go. So now we get into a new topic. It says causes and implications. So obviously the professor is talking about the causes and the result of those causes. Climate change is caused by greenhouse gases, specifically what? Gunkai Ren, very nice. CO2. Yeah, the simplest way is CO2. They will accept that. They will accept it without the... So they'll accept that. Okay? It's fine. So you can write carbon dioxide if you know. Okay, so carbon dioxide. These are simple nouns. Dioxide. Okay, that's fine as well. Or you can write just CO2. Both of these would be correct. This is faster and easier, so if you know this, just use that. Okay? If you're a chemistry student, you should definitely catch these ones. All right, warmer weather can cause extreme weather patterns. Ice caps could melt, famine could occur. Northern Canada, this was another tracking word. They use this word. When you have a specific name, they use this in the audio so you can position yourself if you're a little bit lost. Pay attention to those names. Okay? So it may become beneficiary. As far as food production is concerned, it could become a more productive place for farming. Yeah, and you can even kind of guess that if you didn't catch it. You're like, okay, if Canada becomes a warmer place, what could happen? Well, you can grow more food. So farming. Okay, very nice. Okay, Northern Canada could be useful for farming. All right. A big negative is that the melting permafrost contains a lot of carbon, which will be released if the ice caps melt. Who is going to change? People who think each person is responsible for themselves believe that small steps, such as using energy efficient. Now, here, the such as makes it clear for me that these are examples. Riding a bike, and I heard another example there, which was light bulb. Energy efficient light bulb. Okay. A light bulb, if it's new for some of you, that's the light bulb. Okay. So like using LED, LEDs, right? LEDs are much more efficient light bulbs. Okay. All right. 2 words, light bulb. Okay. Hope everybody is doing great. So far, so good. This was a very challenging one. It's an expression. It's testing for Band 8, Band 9. Governments from developing nations want developed countries to pay them for causing such environmental damage. The economics behind it. The something of supply and demand. That one was challenging. Did anybody get that one? It's one of the hardest questions in this listening exam. Yeah, that's right, Roshni. It's the invisible hand. Invisible hand. It's an expression, the invisible hand of supply and demand. Okay? We don't see it. We don't see that hand, but it's there. If people need it, companies make it, people buy it. It's the invisible hand of supply and demand. Okay, that was for a Band 9 level student, an expert user of English. So if you didn't get it, that's okay. That's kind of for somebody who's looking to be a doctor or a lawyer in an English-speaking country and they need a nearly perfect score to get their job or to get the PhD. All right, economists wonder when consumer demand for environmental products will surpass products that pollute. One solution to this problem is to institute a something tax on each purchase which is deemed to be environmentally unfriendly. These are all kind of challenging. It's okay. Police crime, you got to write them down while you're listening. Just write them on a separate piece of paper. It's a true cost. True cost tax. Okay? All right, this would provide an economic something to buy environmentally friendly products. What was that one? 38. If I have to pay more to buy certain products because they're not good for the environment, then it's going to create something so that I buy environmentally friendly products. So good job with the previous answer, Amira, Shruti, Wenyenkyo. Good job with the true cost. Yeah, pressure, that's right. Very good, students. So pressure. So this would provide an economic pressure to buy environmentally friendly products, right? That's why stores charge money for plastic bags, so that it creates a pressure for people to be environmentally friendly. Okay, cool. A couple more questions left to go here for the conclusion. Climate change is going to change our way of life. Who will pay for the necessary changes in our consumption patterns? With the growing demand for environmentally friendly goods, it is arguably something which can best answer this question. Who? So who do we feel should do this or answer this question? Number 39. Okay, Dicey SPB said corporations. The correct answer there is actually businesses. But I think they'll take corporations. Okay, Dicey SPB, if you have corporations, especially since you have the plural corporations, I think they'll take corporations. Not all businesses are corporations, but most of them, especially the big ones that would be fitting for this, are. So I think Ielts would take that, corporations. Okay, it is apparent, however, that something have a responsibility to look after the environment. Who has the responsibility to look after the environment? Mr. Beck, business? I don't think so. I don't think they'll take the singular, just business there. I think you need the plural. Okay? Yeah, Fudd, very good. We all. Very good. Yeah, we all. So we all of us, we all. Okay? If you write just all, it's grammatically awkward. We all have a responsibility to look after the environment. Okay? So those were the last ones. All right, students, add up your answers. So add up, for those of you who were in class yesterday also, what did you get from 40? What is your total score out of 40, your raw score? If you go to the website, okay, I'm going to jump back to aehelp.com here. I'm just going to darken up the screen a bit so you can see this function on the website. Okay, this is useful for a lot of you. So if you go to the website, accept the cookies if you're in Europe, of course, and at the very bottom of the website, you see this score calculator. Click on that. Make sure you're on the academic website, not the general, if you're doing the academic test. And then you get to this score calculator, and this will help you figure out what your score is. So let's see, your raw score, make sure we're on the listening, not reading. Yeah, listening is the first row. Okay, so Krishna Veni got 31 out of 40. So Krishna Veni, 31 would be a band 7. Okay. Ferdov's 28 out of 40. 28 would be a 6.5. Okay. Kiran, I believe 32 is a 7.5 Kiran. Okay. Tunde Adayemi, 20. A 20 would be a score of 5.5. All right. So you can check out your scores there on the website. It's just another one of the many, many features of the website. For general IELTS students, please go to the website with a green background, okay? And check your scores there. Let's get some brightness back in our lives here. All right, so that's it for this class. Hopefully you picked up some good strategies from me, things to pay attention to. Use the transcripts when you get answers wrong to see why you got them wrong. For lots more practice exams, original practice exams, same difficulty as your official IELTS, check out aehelp.com. Over 100 hours of video lessons with me, as well as other teachers, experts from the IELTS exam, past examiners, as well as a fully interactive course and apps. We do offer the most comprehensive IELTS preparation online for the best price. I don't think anybody else in the world actually offers as much material and strategy as us for this price. So it's worth your time, worth your investment. Check it out. aehelp.com, that's what we use today for the listening, for the academic, and gieltshelp.com for general. Tomorrow, students, members, question and answer session, okay, and then followed by speaking part 3, some new original questions for everyone. Much love from the heart of Europe to all of you around the world. Remember, you're beautiful people, you're all smart, just push forward and never ever give up on your goals. Bye for now.